Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that many people think about, but often hesitate to discuss openly: the nature of faith and belief. The question we're exploring is a profound one. Is religious belief a path to wisdom, or is there another way to look at it? Let's explore this together with an open mind. A central element of many religions is the concept of a higher power, or God. For billions, this belief is a source of immense comfort, guidance, and community. It provides answers to life's biggest questions and offers a moral framework to live by. But for others, a question arises: what if the object of this devotion is unverifiable in the way we can verify, say, the existence of gravity? Is it a wise use of our energy and emotion to worship something we can't see, hear, or touch? This leads to the idea of certainty. If you hold a religious belief, how certain are you? Is it a 100% conviction, or is there a small space for doubt? It's human to have questions. Even the most devout individuals might experience moments of uncertainty. It's not necessarily a sign of weak faith, but perhaps a sign of a curious and honest mind. Acknowledging that bit of uncertainty can be a powerful thing. It allows for growth, questioning, and a deeper, more personal understanding of what you believe and why. So, let's entertain a thought experiment for a moment. What if, hypothetically, we were to live in a world where it was definitively proven that no gods exist? How would that change your perspective? Would your moral compass disappear? Would your sense of purpose vanish? For many, the answer is no. Kindness, empathy, and the desire to live a good life are not exclusive to religion. People find purpose in family, in community, in science, in art, and in the simple act of helping others. This thought experiment isn't meant to shake your faith, but to highlight that the foundations of a good and meaningful life are accessible to everyone, regardless of their spiritual beliefs. Now, let's talk about a practical aspect of faith for many: tithing, or the practice of giving a portion of your income, often 10%, to a religious institution. This tradition has deep historical roots and is seen as an act of devotion and a way to support the community's spiritual home. It funds the building, the staff, and the various programs the church offers. For those who participate, it is a core part of their practice and a way to give back to a source of great spiritual nourishment. However, it's also worth considering other perspectives on charitable giving. If the goal is to alleviate suffering and make a tangible difference in the world, one could ask if that 10% could be used more directly. Imagine dedicating that same amount to a secular charity that feeds the hungry, provides clean water, or funds medical research. The impact could be direct, measurable, and profound. This isn't to say one is right and the other is wrong, but to encourage a conscious choice. When you give, are you clear on your intention and the outcome you hope to achieve? Is it to support a spiritual institution, or is it to create the most direct positive impact on human well-being? Both are valid goals, but they are different. This brings us to one of the oldest and most difficult questions for theists and non-theists alike: the problem of suffering. If there is an all-powerful, all-loving divine being, why is there so much pain in the world? Why do children get sick? Why do natural disasters happen? Why is there war and injustice? Religions offer various explanations: free will, tests of faith, a plan we cannot comprehend. These answers can bring comfort to many, helping them make sense of a world that often feels chaotic and unfair. However, from another viewpoint, these explanations can feel insufficient. When you see real, tangible suffering, theological justifications can seem abstract. The alternative perspective is that the universe is not guided by a moral hand. Things happen, some good, some bad, due to natural laws and human choices, not divine intervention. In this view, suffering isn't a test or a punishment. It's a problem for humanity to solve. Our response shouldn't be to ask why, but to ask, what can we do about it? This shifts the responsibility from a divine entity squarely onto our own shoulders. It empowers us to be the agents of change, to fight injustice, and to comfort the afflicted, because we are the ones who are here to do it. This leads to a related point about defending one's beliefs. When your faith is questioned, the natural instinct is to defend it. But how do you defend something that, by its very nature, is not based on physical evidence? You can share personal experiences, feelings, and the positive impact faith has had on your life. These are all valid and true for you. But it's important to recognize that these are subjective truths. They are powerful for you, but they may not be convincing to someone who operates on a different framework of evidence and logic. Trying to prove the existence of God to a skeptic is often like trying to describe the color blue to someone who has never had sight. You can use analogies, but you can't share the direct experience. Perhaps a more constructive approach isn't to defend, but to share. Share the values your faith has taught you. Share the sense of community it gives you. And most importantly, live a life that reflects the best of your beliefs, kindness, compassion, and integrity. Actions often speak louder than arguments. And that brings us to our final thought. When you hold a belief so deeply that it shapes your entire world, it's natural to want to share it with others. You want them to experience the same joy, comfort, and purpose that you have found. This is a beautiful, compassionate impulse. However, there's a fine line between sharing and pushing. When sharing becomes insistent, when it dismisses the other person's beliefs and experiences, it can become counterproductive. It can feel disrespectful and invasive. People come from countless different backgrounds and have their own unique paths. The most respectful and loving thing we can do is to honor their journey. We can offer our perspective, but we must also be willing to listen to theirs. True connection is built on mutual respect, not on conversion. A good life, filled with kindness and empathy, is a powerful testament, regardless of the belief system that inspires it. Ultimately, our actions and the way we treat others are our truest legacy. Thank you so much for joining me in exploring these complex ideas today. This was a deep dive, and I appreciate you sticking with me. If this video gave you something to think about, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more conversations like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation respectful and open. Until next time, take care and keep questioning.